Well, from the I-Team tonight, Atlanta Mayoral Hopeful Ceasar Mitchell wants the state ethics complaint against him thrown out.
The Atlanta City Council president denied most of the campaign finance allegations, but admitted that some mistakes were made. The ethics complaint followed a Fox 5 I-Team investigation of fundraising by Mitchell's leadership PAC. Well, senior Fox 5 I-Team reporter Dale Russell joins us now with all the latest.
Sine, it's interesting. The Ethics Commission claimed Ceasar Mitchell violated 12 different campaign finance rules, but the man who wants to be mayor of Atlanta says no way. Mitchell would not discuss this case with us, so we asked a government watchdog to examine both the complaint and Mr. Mitchell's response. Ceasar Mitchell faces a range of alleged campaign finance violations, from his leadership PAC AtlantaNEXT's fundraising to how he managed his own campaign money as city council president.
These are reasonable charges. There have been reasonable answers.
Government watchdog William Perry thinks Mitchell has corrected some of the violations.
For the most part, the Mitchell campaign seems to have fixed it, and they're moving on.
But he doesn't like that Mitchell failed to file personal financial disclosures for 3 years in a row. That's a document that helps voters spot potential conflicts of interest. How could they not file that for 3 years with the commission? Any ideas?
That's a huge mistake.
Mitchell has now filed those reports and paid a late fee. The Ethics Commission complaint against Mitchell and his leadership PAC follows a Fox 5 I-Team investigation that showed the PAC was raising big money with golf tournaments and nationwide private fundraisers, but not reporting the money it raised or spent.
Have you found any evidence that I am not in compliance with state law and state ethics?
Mitchell told us back in February his PAC was exempt from reporting because it hadn't spent $25,000. But the Ethics Commission disagreed, charging AtlantaNEXT should have disclosed its income and expenses. The ethics complaint alleges that Mr. Mitchell accepted speaking fees in excess of state limits and improperly spent campaign money on personal reimbursements, dues, newspapers, even Falcon tickets. The commission even subpoenaed AtlantaNEXT PAC's bank records.
We'll trust you, but we're going to verify what you say.
In his response, Mitchell argued all the expenditures, including the Falcon tickets, were allowed by campaign laws.
That seems to be where so far there's reasonable answers.
Mitchell stated his speaking fees, like $2,500 from Atlanta Metropolitan State College or $500 from Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, didn't violate the $100 limit because the speeches weren't related to his city council president's role. He offered affidavits from people who paid him, calling the payments a standardized expense or a love offering and unrelated to his council presidency. No. Perry says maybe so, but still.
If Mr. Mitchell can convince the commission, convince the voters that those speeches weren't part of his city council president position, then fine. But I think probably it's not a good idea.
As for that leadership PAC AtlantaNEXT, William Perry says even if the PAC is following the letter of the law, it isn't following the spirit of the law. He says the PAC's secret fundraising isn't a good thing for voters.
This is the exact problem you get into using a PAC to do these things and then also run for public office. It's too messy, it's not clean, and people don't trust it.
Now, we repeatedly tried to get Ceasar Mitchell to sit down and talk with us. His staff told me his official response is the written response provided to the Ethics Commission. Russ, Sine?
Well, whatever this is, it doesn't sound like it's a political hit job in the sense that it's not a citizen who came forward with this complaint.
No, in fact, Russ, there's been some bad reporting on that in this city. Some other media outlets have indicated that this was an anonymous complaint. That's not the case at all. This was what is known as a self-initiated complaint. It comes from the commission itself. And they did this after they did an audit of Mr. Mitchell's campaign finances after they saw our story. So this is not a political attack in any way. This is self-initiated from the commission.
All right, Dale. Well, thanks for clarifying all that for us.
Dale, thanks.